Hi, welcome. My name is Chrissy. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a channel reading for the week of the 6th of December to the 12th of December. Now, if you've tapped on this video, I'm guessing there's going to be a message in here that you're needing to receive, so stay watching. I do have other prediction readings as well, just to let you know. I do 2022 prediction readings, and I have global readings about the world, and I have some about the current energies, and I do a monthly reading as well. So if you'd like to go check out some of those, that would be great. But in this reading, I'm just going to get started. I'll close my eyes and we'll just see what messages need to come to you for that week of the 6th of December to the 12th of December. So they're giving me the vision of the curtains opening up. So it's like when you're in the cinema and the curtains are slowly drawing open, or you go to a theatre like a live show. So the curtains are slowly drawing open. And there's this real feeling this week of like anticipation. So it's like, oh, what's going to be behind the curtain? So it's almost like there's surprise coming. So it feels like that energy of what's behind the curtain. So that's kind of the image that they're giving me, and it's giving it to me in a very positive way. So there might be something that's coming to you that's like a big surprise, or it could be something that really gives you joy. It might be something that you've been waiting for a long time. For example, you might have ordered a car and your car finally comes in. It might be that your paperwork goes through on a house that you're buying. It's going to be like a fairly major surprise. It could even just be parcels in the mail, which to some people that can be like a great surprise. If you don't get mail very often, that can be something that really makes you feel good. So it's kind of that opening up of the curtain. And I think it's also about opening up and seeing things now. Like it feels like the curtains have been shut for so long that we've kind of been in the dark, but now we're going to start to really open up and see the light as well. So I feel like that's kind of the message for the week of the 6th, is that we're going to start to find more happiness and joy and see things kind of going forward. And like I said, they could be on a big scale or they can be on a small scale. But I think next week, expect things to kind of, it's sort of saying finalise, but finalising things in a good way. Because like I said, the curtains have been shut, but now they're being drawn open. So that's definitely the message for the 6th. Deliveries of information. They're showing me pictures of like the paper. Sit down and read the papers. Start to make yourself knowledgeable. I feel like this is a week where people have to tap into their knowledge. Sometimes we can block ourselves off from information that is trying to get to us. We sort of get guided by the limitations that are sort of out there, and it's saying to you to kind of look beyond these things now. Sometimes you've got to tap away and do your own research. Like I said, read the paper, read your local paper, stay informed of what's happening in your town or your area. There's a lot of things that you'll be kind of learning this week, and I don't believe it's on social media. I feel like it's going to be other avenues like Google search, and I feel like people are wanting to find out a lot more about things in their life, about how to go about making changes, learning more about themselves. I feel like it's going to be a week of really, I think the word that comes to mind is sort of educating ourselves. So like they're showing like somebody reading the paper, like rather than just reading some magazine, you know, with like Family Circle or like, what are those magazines, New Idea or like something like that, where it's kind of lighthearted. It's like you're going to be looking for more depth and you're wanting to sort of educate yourself more. So these are the kind of things that show me, you know, find out what's happening in the news currently in the paper. They're definitely showing me newspapers. So for some reason, maybe be aware of your local newspaper or what's happening in your newspapers, or this kind of thing. It's about educating yourself, but like I said, it'll be more on the factual level. So you'll be wanting to look for like more facts on Google and this kind of search engine platforms, rather than just what you're sort of being fed. So I feel like educating yourself this week and finding things out yourself is very good, rather than just taking things at sort of first glance, because sometimes there's a lot of hidden stories behind things. So that's definitely the message this week, is to educate yourself. Now, when people behave badly, I feel like this week you could have experiences in your life where people are behaving badly. Now, this isn't in a physical way. This is actually going to be in a sort of a mental, conniving, manipulative way. So there's a lot of people at the moment with everything everyone's been going through, that there's been a lot of angst, turmoil, a lot of this kind of rejection. I'm getting a lot of that real kind of negative energy that is sort of firing up inside of people. So you've got to kind of find that way to navigate and learn to deal with people. I feel like this week it's going to be very, very highlighted to how good your skills are at dealing with really challenging people. Now, the message it's showing me is to turn and walk away. So again, it's about, you don't have to take on other people's experiences. You have to learn to have that power and to walk away instead of getting involved. So I think you might be very tested this week, and it might even be with more than one person. It's just showing me that, constantly kind of, bumping into people. It's showing me almost like on dodgem cars. I don't know if they call them that everywhere, but we have these little bumper cars at the shows, and you sort of bump into people and then you go the other way, and it can be quite a jolt sometimes. But this is what it's kind of showing me. The analogy they're using is the little bumper cars, or the dodgem cars, we call them here in Australia. And you're going to be bumping into things, and you're going to be really tested now. So it's like, hold that steering wheel this week, because you're going to be very tested. You're going to be bumped around, but you've got to try and keep yourself on that real straight and narrow path so you can keep moving and keep going around. And that's pretty much the message for this week. And it's saying how people can really, really test you. People can be so clever that sometimes you're not even aware that these things are kind of going on. So this is where it's kind of coming into its own and saying, you're really going to be tested. Hold that steering wheel of that bumper car and keep strong. Because if you crash and let go of the wheel, and then you lose control of yourself and your thoughts, and you get all consumed by someone else's dilemma or dramas or the way that they're feeling, then you're going to be knocked off your course. So I guess that's being forewarned is forearmed, because you're prepared for it now, and you know that, okay, if something comes at me this week, it may not, but I'm guessing there's a high probability, if it's in this prediction reading for that week, that there are going to be some tests coming through to do with other people. Just walk away. Just turn and walk away. And that's the really strong message for this week. Don't get involved and be aware. And that's what they're saying about, sometimes we're not aware because people are very clever at manipulating and doing these sort of creating these scenarios, but you've got to go with your senses and your gut and what you're feeling, because what you're feeling will be telling you the actual truth. Now I feel like there's also a message about stop hiding. There's no point kind of eliminating yourself when you feel like you can actually transform situations. Now, what I'm actually saying here is that sometimes it's easier, and like I just said, to walk away and eliminate yourself from certain situations, but sometimes you've also got to accept situations. So it's also about, despite that you might turn away from people if there is a lot of drama and a bit of conflict and strange things going on around you this week, you've also got to accept it as well. So it's not saying to ignore it, and it's not saying to pretend that's not happening, but it's not your stuff. So you've got to focus on just accepting that that's happening with that person, even if that means you've got to give yourself a little bit of space, or you've got to stand up and be assertive and say your truth. That's okay too. So what it's saying there is don't sort of hide away, and it's not kind of saying run away. It's just saying don't get involved. So you can still be assertive, you can say what you think, and you can actually kind of still turn away, but you're not actually hiding and running away, and you're kind of accepting the situation and where that person is, because that doesn't always define people either. We all have off weeks, and we can all be having things going on in our life that can really affect us, and we can sort of almost without knowingly, subconsciously take it out on other people, and especially when it comes to family, that's a very common thing. So what they're saying is, yes, walk away, but don't hide away, and don't fight these things. Like, just accept the situation, remove yourself, but also be assertive and still, like I said, stay really strong in your own self and your own truth. Things have been very chaotic up to this point, and I feel that's around everything that's been going on right around the world, right around the globe. We've all been in a real state of flux, chaos, confusion, turmoil. So many sort of feelings come to mind, certainly anxiety and fears and things like that, but I feel like there's going to be a little lull in that this week. I feel like people are going to start to go, right, Christmas is here in a few weeks. I'm going to focus on that, and I'm going to have some joy in my life, and I'm going to try and create some substance and meaning to the next few weeks and enjoy myself, because a lot of people are going to have breaks, they're going to have holidays, and they're going to give themselves things to look forward to. So I feel like this week's going to be the week where people are really going to switch it on now, and they're going to try and create some fun, joy, and activities back into their life. It's been such a bizarre and strange time for the last couple of years that we've all sort of earned the right to have some happiness, whether that means you go around driving and look at Christmas lights and the beautiful houses, and just get into it, just start to have a bit of fun. And I feel like this is the week where people are starting to switch that on and realize that, oh, this is going to be what I make of it. So really focus on that this week, focus on what's coming, looking forward to things. And I think that's what keeps people going too, is that gives you that bit of hope, so that bit of fun, and look forward to Christmas. Christmas is a fun time where we get together with people. Well, not for everybody, maybe still not happening, but it's a time where you can kind of connect with people and just chill out for a couple hours, have a sit, have a nice drink, and share some good conversation. These are the kind of things you got to really create now. So I feel like this is going to be the week where people are really going to start to create these things in their life, sort of moving forward into that next year of 2022, and it's definitely going to start this week. Now, I'm getting the message when kids are behaving badly. Now, kids all behave badly. I don't think there's any perfect children out there. And for anyone who's watching this who is a parent, our kids are going to really test us. And I think that's a lot of this residual. I've talked about that, I think, in my maybe December video. The residual purging, and kids have got a lot of this as well, and we have to this could be part of that, accepting people as well. We've got to understand that they have their own way of dealing and purging with their emotions. Now, a lot of us as adults talk about our emotions, men maybe not so much, but women definitely do. A lot of men are starting to open up more. That's not saying they don't, but children really have trouble, and that's why they could be acting out and still having that last bit of the purge of their anxieties, their fears. And I think we've got to remember that they've all gone through this process too, and that it's not been easy for them to process these emotions and how's their future looking, and they start to get fear and scared, and we don't even know half of what they're sort of taking in from TV and the things that they're seeing as well. I mean, look what we have to consume, and it's interrupted a lot of their schooling. They haven't been around their friends, so they haven't had as much fun. They've been in lockdowns. So I think that's something that we have to accept as well. There's no point pushing against when kids are sort of behaving badly. It's not always that they're behaving badly. I think we've got to get the right focus, that sometimes they're just acting out because they don't know where to channel their emotions. So if you can really get them active, keep them busy, get involved in their lives, do some fun stuff with them. Like I said, start to think about, wow, we're going to have a little break at Christmas, or we're just going to have some fun. Get them involved, and I think that's going to be a really good way of helping them to sort of purge that bit of emotions that they've also carried for the last couple of years. Maybe just get them involved and ask them what they want to do, and have they got any ideas about the holidays and these kind of things, because I think that could really help kids, because they've been very lost in all of this journey. They've sort of been pushed aside slightly, but they still are like little sponges. As we know, they learn and they grow, and they take in so much when they're in those very, what's the word? They're in the, it's just gone from the top of my head now. They're very impressionable. That's the word I'm looking for. So they take a lot in. So just be aware of that and really incorporate them. Look, I hope this reading helped you for the 6th of December. There's so much going on around the place that we've got a lot to deal with, and sometimes you just have to start to embrace things in your life and have some fun. There's nothing wrong with that. We've certainly had the ups and downs, that's for sure. Look, go subscribe to my channel. Hit those like buttons. Like I said, I have a lot of self-help videos as well. If you're lonely, depressed, feeling suicidal, wanting to learn some things about attraction, I have hundreds on there that can help you around body language and so many things. Please go check them out. Check out my other prediction readings, like I said, and I will see you in that next video. Have a great week. Bye.